Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be watching WandaVision episode 6.
Drop the gun. You are under arrest.
Okay, Caitlin. This is the second time that we've seen this. You woke me up at 2 o'clock this morning to watch it.
Yep.
And so, let's talk about before we watch the episode. What did you think? What do you think about the show? Where do you think it's going?
Well, I was excited because this Halloween episode has been like advertised the most, like in the trailer. So I knew something big was going to happen. I was excited to see what was going to happen with Pietro, how they combine it. What Wanda, how she even handles all of it. Also to see where Wanda and Vision's fight end up. There was a lot of stuff left unanswered in the last episode, so I was really waiting for this episode all week. So
okay, I don't want to go back and necessarily talk about what we thought were going to happen, but the show just keeps surprising us. Like every week, I feel like I say like, "Hey, I'm getting some things right and some things wrong."
Yeah.
In the end, it may all be wrong or whatever. We'll talk more about that at the end of the episode and everything. But
it's such a great show.
Yeah. Episode 5 was really good, especially the way that she tried to have the credits rolled there at the end. Then they started fighting. He broke it, and they started fighting and all that kind of stuff. And then we had Quicksilver come in at the end. That was a surprise for sure. What do you think about the kids? What's going on with the kids?
I feel like they're real. It was real, like up in the air, but I'm leaning more towards they're real.
So at the end of all this, they're going to be around?
I don't know. After I watched this episode, I actually started thinking that they're not real.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that after the episode.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I think me and you just see two totally different things going on in this world.
Because I was really convinced that the kids were real. I'm not so sure. Or, okay, we just have to talk about it at the end.
We'll talk about that at the end. I don't want to run it before you even get a chance to watch it. So without further ado, here's episode 6.
Did you know what show this was trying to be like?
Malcolm in the Middle, probably.
Okay. I didn't really watch it too much. So.
I didn't either, but I think it was kind of this type of look.
Yeah. It starts the shows where they start talking separately from what's actually going on.
Which Malcolm in the Middle is a 90s movie show. It's not an 80s show, but maybe it was supposed to be set in the 80s. I don't really know.
Agnes is there taking care of the kids.
I always say that because this is how they did Malcolm in the Middle. Malcolm would just talk the whole time through it.
Do you think he laughs because he knows she's Scarlet Witch?
I don't know.
And he obviously knows who he is because he. I mean, don't you think so? Oh, look.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me you had plans.
Well, I am telling you now.
Ooh,
Mom
he's
and Dad have been
still upset after that fight.
fighting, just like different.
At the end of the last episode, he said that she couldn't.
Control him like everybody else.
Yeah, she said, "Can I?"
You have a spooky time.
So maybe she thinks that she can, and she's questioning why
he's acting different.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. In the comics, does Wanda have kids? One in Vision?
Exactly like.
Oh, Billy and Tommy.
Woke up inside the hour.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that last week.
Yeah, so I asked last week why the thing was still glowing like that. Or I made a comment on it.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. The guy who almost got murdered by his own murder squad.
Hayward's so dumb.
He's definitely a bad guy.
We take her out, this whole nightmare ends.
We don't know that.
Okay, so he said nightmare once.
Yeah.
There.
Because clearly you don't have the stomach for this job.
Get her off my
bed. Such a jerk.
Now.
That just goes to tell you that he's done some questionable stuff.
Yeah.
During the time of the snap. So here's all these kids. The last episode,
When we were
Mom.
at the
he was
orphanage
asking
when
about
Mom
it.
and Dad died.
What was the name?
I didn't look the first time, but it's kind of crazy that none of these kids are dressed up like Avengers and stuff.
Yeah,
Like that's a big thing during Halloween, and
but not back then.
yeah, I mean you would think that would have been big in her world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're trying to be 80s, it'd still be Superman and all that kind of stuff. You know?
See, everyone almost worships her. He's like, because he's not even in his actual state or whatever. And he's like, do you want something changed?
Yeah, so like he knows, like maybe she freed him up or something, you know?
I don't think so. I think they just all know it's her.
Yeah, they all
Kind
know
of
it's
like with the
her.
Agnes thing.
You know, because when the other dude snapped out of it, they knew it was her,
They're stuck in the simulation.
but they don't always. Not everybody gets to voice it or something, you know.
Yeah. She's crying. That's so sad.
I remember hunger.
I don't
I used to
understand
drink
this
that all
one
the
too
time.
much.
I think it means that they're not eating and stuff. Like they're basically like in a prison, and then they're gonna die one day. If they don't get saved soon. I think that's what I took from it. Is they're just stuck in a thing and they can't get better.
Great head count.
I feel like that's why they let Wanda steal him.
Yeah.
They wanted to see if she could bring him back or something like that, or bring some missing piece to it.
I think he's going to be way more important than we think.
Yeah.
I almost think he's going to be more important than Wanda is.
Vision.
Yeah. Just because they've experimented on him and that's what they've been doing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he brings up just killing Wanda. He never even talks about killing Vision. And he's always planted like her being the mastermind, which is whatever. But I feel like he just wants to get her out of the picture so he can get Vision. I feel like he thinks he's going to get Vision's real body back if Wanda's gone.
See, and this confusing to me why she would have made the barrier so big that the people on the outskirts are subject to this.
I think she just wanted the whole town. But also maybe this is what the commercial was talking about. Like, whenever she can't control them, they can't eat, they can't do the things they need to do, you know, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like I'd have this show all figured out if I could figure out her.
Where is it?
Like, she's such a enigma.
You think she was trying to leave?
I think probably so.
I feel like she got there and then like there's some kind of something that was like, no, you can't go, and that's why she was sitting there freaking out, you know. And she was like, she won't even let us think about it because she got stopped at that stop sign.
All these kids up
I think
till
he's
now.
gonna be good
I
for
assume
her.
they were all just sleeping peacefully in their beds. No
like
need
to bring out what's
traumatize
really
beyond
going
the
on.
occasional holiday appearance.
I feel like there's just some stuff she doesn't know how it's happening,
How'd you even
but I
do
think
all
she
this?
controls most of it.
Yeah. And so, like, a while ago, was she about to just lie to him, or did she really not know where the kids?
It's affecting her mentally too, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Are you okay?
See, that's what makes me think that he
I'm
won't
fine.
live after this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing that happened with Vision, and she made a whole thing about, whatchamacallit, you can't fix dead people or whatever. But why did they recast it? Could they just not get the other Pietro?
I
Or?
don't know. That's why I don't think I like the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
Part of me's still hoping that that is the Fox Quicksilver, Peter.
And how come he has the cape and stuff? Because he doesn't know that that was his, like how he looked before. He's never had that cape before.
Yeah, he had a cape before.
In the show?
Um,
Like since Westview?
I don't know.
I don't think he has. The blue is letting him go out, but the red is pulling him back in. You see what I mean? I guess whenever Wanda put up the red, she made it to where no one could go in or out anymore.
Are you okay?
He can hear outside the circle. That's so crazy.
See, but he's real out here.
Yeah. I feel like the red's just keeping him in. It's literally tearing him apart. I think she was expanding it to get all of S.H.I.E.L.D. so they wouldn't mess with her anymore.
I don't think Monica and Chu got sucked in because they clearly outrun it. They were pretty far ahead.
Yeah.
Unless they just stopped to look at it or something. So let's talk about these people one at a time. So we'll start with his kids. With the kids, I guess, since they're the most people. So you said that you think that they're real, but they're not going to make it after the TV show?
I thought it because of the whole Vision breaking apart, but because I didn't really know what that was about. But watching it a second time, I think that the red hexagon or whatever is just to keep everyone in and everyone else out. I feel like if she lifted the red thing, that they would be fine. Does that make sense? You get what I'm
Like
saying?
if it disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I've gone back to their real. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're children, and I think, at first I was wondering if their powers were going to be something that just they're manifesting inside the dome.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case. I think they're real kids, and they're going, unless they die or something.
Because he heard what was going on outside the circle.
So I think they have their own powers.
Yeah.
And that's that.
It's still questionable to me whether Vision and Pietro are gonna last.
Yeah.
I think maybe, but I mean they went on and on and on, or they had a whole section dedicated about how you can't fix the dead. So I'm confused.
Yes.
With that part.
So Pietro, I was convinced that he's from the Fox universe. So I'm like, why would they bring him back, not as that character? Like if they're going to bring him back and he's not going to be a mutant from the Fox franchise, then just bring back the dead brother, you know?
Yeah, but that also makes me think they didn't bring back the dead brother because they needed someone new or whatever, so they got him. But then, like you said, I don't know if it was last time or the time before, Vision is made up of other things. You know what I'm saying? He's made up of Tony, Bruce.
Yeah, but that don't have
Jarvis.
anything to do with him, you know?
I know, but he wasn't completely dead. Like, he was dead, but not all parts of him. Like, all...
Vision?
Yeah, Vision. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
So I feel like that's why they couldn't bring back the other brother. Maybe. So maybe they both will stay.
I don't know. So, when Pietro
Because
had...
Vision doesn't remember anything before this, so it's basically like he's a new person, like the kids.
And I don't think Pietro does either, or any more than Wanda would have had him, forced him to remember. In the same way that she's forcing everybody else to change their name and all that kind of stuff. So...
I mean, he remembers everything, and even Wanda said, I don't remember that like that. So he has his own thoughts, I think.
Yeah, so that's why I'm holding out hope that he's still from the Fox universe.
Yeah.
I really hope that that's the case. And when she saw that he was dead, I hope that was just her projecting that on him.
Yeah.
Well, no, because he even said, I got shot in the middle of the street or something like that, and so I don't know
It's a toss-up.
I don't know if that's... I just hope that's not the case. That seems like such a waste if that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's just what she's kind of put into his mind, and that's...
Or it's just her reality coming to it,
or
something.
he knew about that kind of stuff before he came to this reality.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was actually acting like himself and not like the TV show to start fleshing this out, but
it's crazy how aware he is.
But part of me thinks that she also knows that something's wrong with him. Like that's not her for real
concerned
brother,
about what he's
because
doing.
she blasted him.
Yeah, because he's saying stuff out of turn.
Yeah.
He's way more troublesome. I mean, her other brother, actual Pietro from the Avengers or whatever, he was a little bit troublesome, you know, but not. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope she thinks like he's related to me some kind of way, but not in the way like
She's still confused
I
about
think she
it.
thinks she knows something's going on. But,
Yeah.
So, and Vision, I think Vision's going to be, because his sword and everything has gone down, he's going to be very important. Like
I wonder if they're going to try to use him as a weapon against Wanda.
Not that, yeah, I think that's what they intended on doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Or, you know, he said something interesting. He said, you don't know what it was like to keep the lights on while you were gone.
Yeah.
Talking about funding and all that kind of stuff. And so maybe they're using this as a way to get funding. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe he actually
Like
set all this up.
How Tony was doing with the protection, the shield around the world or whatever type of thing? Bringing Vision back? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying like he was talking about, I assumed he was talking about money.
Yeah.
Like it was hard to keep this place going because half the earth disappeared and they didn't really want to spend money on stuff like this. So part of me thinks that all of this was a set-up ploy to make her dangerous so that way they can go in and do something. They could act like S.H.I.E.L.D. and now they're the heroes, so the Earth has to funnel all the money to them.
Yeah.
I did see something this past week that talked about whether or not they were making Sentinels, like the X-Men Sentinels. That's interesting, you know.
That's what I was saying.
You said that.
I've said that.
Well, I saw it on the video too. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking was kind of happening.
I don't know. I think Sword's a bad guy. I think they set all this up some kind of way. I just don't know. Not that she couldn't. It's frustrating.
And he tries to he just lies. He just gets caught up in his lies. I mean, Darcy found all this information that he wasn't sharing. You know, blah blah blah.
I hope they just don't drop the ball on all these Easter eggs.
But he was sharing it with the other people there. Like he started showing the map of Vision whenever they had left. That's why I feel like he also didn't tell her about her medical records and was sending her in because he was hoping that it would tear her apart or she wouldn't come back or something, because he is obviously bad and you don't want people that are going to stand up and do the right thing around, you know?
Yeah. And so going back to the last episode, you know, where it's questionable whether she can control him or not, and then this episode comes and makes you wonder if she's controlling him at all.
Yeah, he's kind of blocking her out. I think he's getting more strength and...
Or like he's a totally different thing it's almost like Sword is controlling him and they're making him do whatever it is that she's thinking that he needs to be doing. Does that make sense?
I don't know if Sword's controlling him, but...
Well, so like in the last episode, he knew something. When she did that repeat or whatever, Agnes did that repeat, and he's like, "Did you not really see what I just saw?" Yeah. You know, so he's outside of whatever is happening.
But he was believing, like whenever they started arguing, he was like, "I have to believe that you didn't know about this from the start or whatever." I think now he's just starting to believe that Wanda's a terrible person. Like I think he's just turning against her naturally. I don't think he, I don't think he's being controlled by Sword. I think they're just keeping tabs on him because they don't want to lose him, and he's the main thing that they're going after right now.
Now he may not end up being their weapon, but I think he is their weapon. But what's crazy, you know, so he came out of that bubble, and he was still very much him. Looked like he had the Mind Stone. And
even whenever his body was ripping apart, he had the gold.
Yeah, so
thingies in it.
That's my question: is whether or not if she can control, if she's not controlling him at all, then how is he living outside that bubble? Because she had to rely on Tommy, one of the kids. I'm not gonna bother learning their names until I know for sure they're real. But she had to rely on them to tell him what's happening. Like why couldn't she know?
Whenever she destroyed the stone, and I think she did get some of that power. I think she took that power and made him alive.
I don't think so.
That's what I think.
I think, or if that happened, it's Sword making it happen. Like I don't think. I still think after it. So all the good guys are about to be inside this bubble, and they're about to be fighting everybody outside the bubble. Like that's about what's going to happen.
What do you mean?
I think in the next episode, Monica Rambeau is going to meet up with her dude.
Contact or whatever.
And I think they're going to go inside. And I think they're going to end up helping.
I don't think they're going to be able to go inside.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all the other Sword people weren't able to go inside. Yeah. But she was willfully expanding it.
Of course, every time.
Maybe the red is just to keep everyone in. Maybe Wanda had a feeling that Vision was going to try to go out or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. They got a lot of stuff. I just hope these Easter eggs aren't for nothing.
Yeah.
But I think Monica and their friend and maybe Jimmy. Something still doesn't sit right with me with Jimmy.
I don't know.
But I think more people are going to go inside the bubble. I'm curious what happens with Darcy. We didn't see what happens with her.
Yeah. They purposely left it out.
Yeah, they did.
And what's going to happen with Vision's memory and stuff. Because she obviously can't erase his memory anymore because he still remembered the fight, like whenever he woke up this morning. So, is he just going to keep testing the boundaries? Is he going to finally confront Wanda and make her answer? Where is it going to go that way?
So this was 6, so we got 3 more episodes to go.
I thought there was only going to be 8. Is there 9?
Supposed to be 9. I'm not real sure. I think there's supposed to be 9. So, another interesting thing that might happen is, what if Jimmy and Monica didn't make it out, and now they're inside the bubble? Either they meet up with their contact, and their contact is Reed Richards, or they get sucked into the portal, and their contact was Dr. Doom. And Dr. Doom...
Why would it be Dr. Doom, though?
Because he's a...
Yeah, would they start it before he became a bad guy, or... Do you know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
I don't know.
Because then Dr. Doom could... Because Dr. Doom's real big time into magic.
I know, that's why I was asking if it was before or after.
And so...
He
might be coming there... Yeah, I mean, he might be coming there for... as a good guy, but once he sees everything happening, he sees Swords bad, and he sees there's a magic element and all this kind of stuff to him. Like, this might be the start of him progressing. Whatever, I don't know. I just can't think of anybody else. It doesn't look like it's Captain Marvel. It looks like they're keeping her completely out of this,
Yeah, and she said it was a guy. She said him.
Oh, yeah, she did say it was a him, too. So.
Yeah. That's why I didn't know if it was Nick Fury or...
No. Well, and he's not an astrophysicist.
I know, but she didn't say astrophysicist.
In the 2 episodes ago.
She said it?
Mm-hmm. She said I have a friend who's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, I thought someone else said it was astrophysicist.
What else? I'm convinced Sword is going to be bad in this.
Yeah. I hate that guy.
Yeah,
I'm ready for him to leave.
I hope he dies.
Yeah.
In this show. What else? But, based on what Vision's doing, part of me thinks he's going to make it out of this thing alive. I just don't know how they're going to justify the Soul Stone and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What was your question at the first that we were going to wait till the end? Did we already cover that?
About what? I think so. I just want to talk it through everybody. It looked like the townspeople. It looks like
Agnes. So I used to think that she was in on it and stuff. I don't think that now. I think she is just more aware and like smarter.
oh, I was gonna say Nightmare. So
Who's
you know
that?
everybody's been talking about Mephisto and Nightmare and all that kind of stuff. And last episode I said I don't really buy into too much of that, but he said they talked about a nightmare twice in here, and from what I understand, that person's supposed to be the villain or a villain in Doctor Strange, and so I do think there's another, even if Sword's a bad guy, there's another sinister force, kind of behind the scenes on this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and part of me hopes that even if there is, that they don't flesh it out. They just kind of let it go until Doctor Strange comes. And the reason I didn't think it was going to happen in this, because
Why haven't? Yeah, if
We're-
Sword wasn't evil, why haven't they called Doctor Strange or anything like that?
what I think they're definitely evil, but like Nightmare or Mephisto or both of them, we're kind of too late in the game, and that stuff hasn't been fleshed out enough. You know, so if they just dump it in on the last episode, that's gonna feel like, really, y'all? Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
How
That's
many
not
seasons are they doing?
I don't have any idea. But
Yeah, I hope they don't leave. Like, I understand they're gonna have a little bit of a cliffhanger between season 1 and season 2, but I hope it's not something like that where they just dump it all
yeah,
last episode.
unless they do it like they did Thanos and say, where we just kind of learned Thanos was behind the scene, but we didn't learn anything else about him.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like that, where it's all resolved, and then we see it from their perspective and see that they were actually pulling the strings, but we don't get into it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like about the only way they could do it right in 3 episodes, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on. Like, there's a lot of freaking characters already in this thing, and we're going to see all those to some sort of conclusion, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if they're bringing in her brother from another universe and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, you know. But anyway, so this video is going to be out a few days afterwards because I'm on COVID, so I can't go anywhere. So thanks y'all for joining along, and we'll see y'all guys next week. Bye.
Bye.